I am Dominic Bytes. Welcome to another episode of Byte Club Cinema. Today, I'll be watching not a short internet animation, but a full movie. That's right, I'm going to do Nimona, Netflix film that was released in 2023 after a very long stint in production hell. Was it worth it? Did it turn out okay? I don't know. Unlike the other three that I have done so far, The Side Has Been Hotel and Lackadaisy, this is one I haven't seen it yet. This will be my first viewing of Nimona. You get to see my reactions to the film as I am recording them. Wow. There you go. So it's a slightly different format than usual. Now, because this is a Netflix movie, I definitely need my screen on to prevent copyright strikes. So that is done, and the audio is muted as usual. Again, please watch along with your own copy rather than rely on this as some kind of pirated thing. The point is commentary, not piracy here. Okay, so Nimona itself. Why did I choose this one? Well, one, similar to Lackadaisy, Nimona is based on a webcomic. The webcomic was made by Noelle Stevenson all the way back in, let's see, well, it was published in 2015. Right, it was 2012. So the webcomic itself is from 2012. So this is an 11-year-old webcomic. And then it was published by HarperCollins in 2015. Now, that after it was published as a book, then they announced, hey, we're going to do a movie on this. Originally, it was going to do Blue Sky Production, which was part of 20th Century Fox. But then it just languished in development hell. Disney bought them, and then Disney destroyed the Blue Sky production. So then it popped over to somebody else, and finally, Netflix released it 8 years later. So this was in development hell for 8 years. No one even knew if it was going to come out, and this was even scarier. This was in development hell at Netflix during a period where Netflix has begun to slash a lot of their animation projects. Budget shortfalls across the board in Hollywood have caused them to just shut down animation after animation. We didn't know if Nimona would ever see the light of day, whether it become a tax write-off like a lot of animated features over on HBO Max, for example. But it came out. It came out. That's good. Yeah. I read Nimona. I haven't read the whole thing. I read back when it came out in 2012. It made the rounds. I read the first few pages. I remember of Nimona, and I liked it. It was funny. It had a bit of the Tumblr nose art style to it that annoyed me a bit, but that was just, I guess, the hip thing with the kids back then. But I did find it amusing. I did find it charming. The main character was very likable. She was very amusing. She's a off the wall, quirky shapeshifter type. I'm a sucker for those. The main villain seemed to be kind of a send up of the evil overlord tropes. So it had a lot of potential to it. Unfortunately I got busy around the time while it was coming out, and I never got back to it. So I only know the setup. I know very little about the story itself. I do know the webcomic itself only lasted 2 years. It's completely self-contained. So this should be the full story in one movie. It's an hour 40-minute movie. Now, Noelle Stevenson was involved with the production of the film, so it should stay true. Now, apart from having read the webcomic when it first came out, this is also notable. Noelle Stevenson got on my radar with the She-Ra cartoon, which she was a producer of. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the She-Ra cartoon, and its fandom. Oh boy, yeah, its fandom is extremely toxic, to put it mildly. They are. I mean, they're not. I would say Raylos and Steven Universe fans are probably worse, but She-Ra fans are not great. Noelle Stevenson herself experienced the rabid nature of her own fandom when she got canceled by her own fans for making a joke. I think she was making a joke about like Bo's brothers, and so each of them had a funny pun name based on their profession. One of Bo's brothers happened to be a farmer, so his name was So. That's a totally fine pun, great joke. And then somehow someone said that was racially insensitive, even though it's not, and so she ended up canceled. And I thought that was very stupid. So I will say publicly that I disagree with Noelle Stevenson being canceled for that particular joke. Regardless of politics or anything else, I don't think that cancellation was warranted. I think that was kind of dumb. So, but again, I was not personally a big fan of She-Ra. The only aspect of the show that I enjoyed was Catra's arc. Apparently, Catra was based on Noelle's wife, Molly Oster. Hold on, let me look up the name. Molly Ostertag. Ostertag. All right, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Ostertag. But then Catra was apparently based on her own wife, and that in that relationship dynamic we see play out between Adora and Catra, it draws heavily from her real life experience, and it's done. It's done well. That is, Catra has a arc, and it does play out. And I did actually enjoy that aspect of the show. Certain other things, such as some of the voice acting, a lot of the writing, the pacing of the episodes, were pretty bad. The animation quality, especially the first few episodes, was very, very poor. So I think it gets by because it came out at a time where people were just like, oh, we want some easy to consume queer content aimed at us, and so the bar for quality was very low. Yeah, if you're going to, I insist on good story. I insist on good story and good execution. Just because you have a theme I like doesn't mean I'm going to instantly forgive all your sins. Like, I will say, hey, I like this theme, but if you are on a technical level fall short, I'm going to call you out on that. So now with this show, I'm hoping that on a technical level, this is better executed than She-Ra was. Oh, actually, I should also say one area I don't like about Noelle Stevenson is Lumberjanes. She did not create Lumberjanes. She, as far as I know, wasn't even one of the primary people behind Lumberjanes. Lumberjanes was created by somebody else, and she was brought on to help out with it. But I have noticed over the years that more and more of the PR is saying that it's hers, it's hers, it's hers, and it is not. So I don't know if that's Stevenson claiming credit for work that she didn't do, or if that's PR hyping it up because she's just notable. If it's her claiming credit for work she didn't do, I find that reprehensible. I do not like that. That would be something where it's like, okay, you want to call her out on something, yeah, claiming the credit for the work of others. That is reasonable, in my opinion. But if it's just the PR department saying this stuff without her permission, that's another matter. I don't know which it is. I don't know which it is, but that is a controversy that is worth noting. Better than getting upset over what's honestly a decent pun. She made a decent pun, guys. Yeah. But yeah, She-Ra fans are kind of weird. Now, Nimona, I'm curious on this one. I know a lot of people praise like some of the, oh, look at the gender fluidity and so on. Okay, it's like, okay. I mean, I put my brain in a robot body. I mean, I'll hot swap my form however I like. I don't give a damn about the meat shell or the metal shell that I occupy. But it's like, okay, I want a good story. I want good characters. I want good writing. I want things to make sense and be amusing. Make me laugh. Entertain me. So I am hoping Nimona entertains me and does not beat me over the head with badly crafted message fic. As I when it started, it looked good. So hopefully this has, um, hopefully this is more expertly crafted than She-Ra was. I really am hoping for that. But yes, another webcomic based cartoon. Again, the kind of an American tradition on this, so it's nice to see. It's nice to see the cartoons survive. I will be getting into anime here at some point. I will get into anime. My plan is to do Fate Strange Fake or Gene of AI here at some point. I'll get to it soon. But I wanted to do this one as kind of my first feature-length film, especially since it just came out. It's been sitting there for so long. I'm really curious about how this one turned out. So, if you have any reactions or comments to what I said about Stevenson, feel free to post in the comments below. The let's see. Actually, I forgot if I've met Noelle. Actually, I may have met her in person once at a convention. I think. Anyway, all right. I am going to be starting up the film again. The screen is on. The audio is muted. You'll expect to follow along on your own copy. Please, Netflix, do not send your assassins after me. I'm just a man in a robot body. Huh. You can shoot me, but I'll just upload my consciousness to another form. All right. Starting the movie in 3, 2, 1, go. Doing. You'll note that the aspect ratio on this is different from the other ones I've had, but that's okay. Yeah, so Annapurna. Yeah, so Annapurna is. Oh, Annapuma. Wait, Purna or Puma? Hold on. Oh, Purna. Okay, Annapurna. So they're the ones who got from this guy. All right, opening narration. Oh, yeah, I like the style so far. Now, one thing I did notice the trailers. The trailers do seem to imply, ooh, evil. The okay. So we have all right. Myth about a giant evil. Glorious. Oh, that's an interesting name. All right, female heroine. All right, chosen one. Chosen one versus monster. Cool, cool. And very, very standard. What's its name? Front door. It was burninating the countryside. True. You can you can never let your guard down. The monsters are always there. Yeah, sure. I agree with that. The price of liberty is eternal vigilance. Oh, so it's a future. Wait, it's a futuristic setting? Huh. Okay, I actually didn't know this part. So it's medieval. So it's anachronistic. That's cool. I like that. High technology with fantasy elements. Ballister, Ballister, Clayton, Ballister. No, wait, no. Oh, okay. Hey, I like this. I like this. Precocious golden boy. That's okay. That's hilarious. It reminds me of one of the characters from Ruby. Actually, yeah, the animation style reminds me a little bit of Ruby here. The CG style. Okay. Yeah, the thing here with like bloodline, the commoner versus the noble. All right, I like that kind of conflict. I like the origin here of Ballister. He worked hard. He earned what he got. He rose through merits in a very hierarchical. And as you can see, this is a system without much class mobility. That's always the problem with bloodline systems. So, nice little critique of caste systems. So the question is Golden Loin being genuine here, or is he being facetious? Don't know. But it looks like they're friends, and that's nice. But I do like the whole backstory of someone who earned their place through skill and merit. But, the whole doubts about that. Oh, ho! All right. All right. That's a bit of a twist. Didn't see that coming. All right. So, yeah. So, wait, was that Golden Loin, though? I may be mistaking it. I'm getting the two mixed up. Yeah, it was. Okay. I like how Ballister is like the one who earned it, but he's got the black armor, so it's like they're cutting him as a Black Knight. It's neat. That's a good subversion. Now, see, that's one of the like the Cardins from Ruby. There, the ones who would be rough on John. Aw, he had a fan. It makes sense that he would have commoners who look up to him because he rose from their ranks. So yeah, he's a hero of the people. Kind. Yeah, Golden Loin um, has the charisma and the look and the breeding. Alistair has the work ethic. But he does have a self-marketable point. I mean, the whole thing of he rose from the people. Yeah, I think we do get a little foreshadowing there with him looking at the sword, and being like, "Oh, what's up with this? I think someone sabotaged the sword." It's just I'm just calling that out now. I bet the sword was sabotaged. Now, I didn't see this in the webcomic. I don't know if this is something that we get as a flashback in the comic later, but I did not read this bit in the webcomic. So I am digging the art style. I will say the art style for the movie is better than the webcomic. As I said, the webcomic had a bit of Tumblr nose syndrome because of that era. Yeah, this is a nicer style. This almost reminds me a little bit of like Claws or Ruby, but a better Ruby. A Ruby made by people who know how to animate. Yay! I'm a hero. Also, like, yeah, Ballister, okay. So Ballister looks a little more like Middle Eastern kind of than I remember him being. But that's cool. Again, that's a nice little contrast between the two. Ballister Boulevard. Yeah. There should be some who are like, oh, he's not from the nobility, but people who aren't from the nobility, it's like, oh, hey, someone rose up and got it. It's the come from behind story. It's that's what makes Rocky a good movie. New era after hours. Oops. Oh, oh, well, oh no. New era of heroes, yeah. Someone very clearly, okay. Yeah, now the question is, so Golden Loin saw it, but he also saw his initial reaction. He knows that Ballister is like, I have no idea what just happened. I am very surprised by this. So yeah, okay, all right. So now we have, yeah. So who's the big bad? So the big bad who's ever put that in his handle, framed him for it. The kingdom. Yeah. Huh. Let's see. Where have I seen a common everyday person go into a place of power and then get framed as a rebel or like plotting to like do violent, horrible things? I've seen this story before. Timely, timely. I'm gonna say. I don't know if that was an intended parallel there. Yeah, set up by forces beyond his reckoning. Oh, cool. He's got a cyber arm. I like that. Okay, so now the futuristic aspects make sense. They need to give him a robot arm. Hey, I approve of roboticizing your body, by the way. I don't approve of getting your limbs chopped off to roboticize your body, but I do approve of roboticizing your body. Nice little bit for Nimona there. I like how stealthy she is. Okay, yeah, she has gremlin energy. Oh, good lord, I love that. Oh god, that was great. Okay, she has gremlin energy. This is why I like Nimona. Wait a minute, that's a salt lady. She just stopped it with her arm. Okay, wait, what? Don't do that at home. I don't like children. I have an application. Wait, what? Application for what? I think that's from the webcam. Yeah, this is the bit that I remember. Okay, I like her voice actor. She's capturing the energy really well. I also like how besat upon he sounds. She is a mood. She is 100% a mood, and I'm liking the gremlin energy. Hey, yeah, wow. She actually, they've animated her, like, her face is more fluid than his is. Like, his is more, like, human, sarcastic, a bit of the DreamWorks Prince of Egypt vibe. She is very different. He's extremely vengeful, yes. It's not a murder. Yeah, he knows he's innocent. He knows he didn't do the thing. How can he prove it? It's not the jerk, though. I mean, the jerk is clearly too dumb to do this. It's someone who wants the queen dead. Like a I would look into a rebellion or like successors. Does she have a evil vizier? I'm not going to get arrested. I'll just tell them what happened. Yeah, they don't listen to you. Yeah, even in Fantasyland, the police don't actually listen to you. Yeah, that makes sense. They'll go with the obvious suspect. Uh, Now, this is something I can definitely empathize with. It's like you have people who know you, who have good personal history with you, who have good positive memories, who should know and understand your character, and they turn their back on you. They betray you. Yep. Even the people who know him best just turn their back and walk away. They it's called memory rewrite. Yeah. Instead of relying on their personal experience, which they should, they instead allow the mob to sway them. They allow a singular event to overwrite all the positive memories. A lot of people do this, by the way. It's a really common mental problem. I like Nimona's stuff. Nimona clearly a rogue. Nimona is clearly a rogue build. I think she's part goblin, or she's just choosing to be a goblin form. Oh god, that was a terrible pun. I forgot about the puns. God. All right. Nimona's gremlin energy is just wonderful, and I love it. And if they keep this up steadily, this will be really fun. I also like how she is the one encouraging him to be evil. Because as far as he's concerned, he's a knight. He is a no, he is a knight, a hero of the realm, who just got framed. That's his perspective. His perspective is, I am a good man who did nothing wrong. And her perspective is, oh my god, you're a dastardly villain. And I want to do horrible, evil things with you as my leader. And he's like, no, no. So, yeah, that's good. That's good. It's that the minion is the one driving evil. We see this here in little petty ways. He's trying to be respectful, and she's all like, no, I want to turn it down. She's very punk. That's right. She's a gremlin punk. Here, I like this one I got here. Yeah, no, I somehow got it. Oh, I love her expression there. It's like, oh, good. Yes. And we also see her skill put on. She can sneak into things. She can dodge. She can throw. She's clearly practiced this. She is experienced. Would you rather do this or no? Oh no. That was an awkward time to walk into that conversation. Oh no. And she completely misreads it. No, that's not the nemesis. That is, well, actually, is he the X or not? That's actually probably the unresolved thing. It's like, do you believe me or not? Because he doesn't know. Wait, I thought things were already weird. Yeah, you're gonna die. Oh god, that was another bad pun. You're gonna die in the closet. Ah! I see what they did there. That was funny. I'm a pink. I'm a pink rhinoceros. Okay, that's funny. I like that. Hence, reference to the drawing earlier of the horn skewering people. Now, the other thing too is I don't know if we've seen Nimona explicitly kill anybody yet. Well, we've seen her beat people up and knock them around, but we haven't seen her like explicitly kill. Yeah, right now. And I think I also like the whole thing here with Golden One because it's we know that the female friend has turned her back on it. Like she should know better, but she has decided no, I don't care about our backstory. I'm going to just believe the frame up. But we don't know if Golden Loin is that dumb or not. We don't know if Golden Loin's loyalty will supersede the tomfoolery. So I'm hoping the show does something interesting with that. I have a way of now turn into a bowl of petunias. Oh no, not again. I like that a rhino is her default writing form. It's very appropriate. Yeah. So she's a shapeshifter rogue. That's great. I love it. And she's got gremlin energy. I also like that despite the modern trends, they didn't give her like the side shave haircut, which is great. Oh, I love that expression. Yes. I've set things on fire. Mission accomplished. Yeah, I got the sense that she is a rebel with a cause. And we saw that earlier with graffiti. She hates things as they currently are. She clearly feels dispossessed, probably because she's a shapeshifter. She's an outsider. She's probably one of the things that Lawrence was trying to kill, would be my guess. Like I'm guessing her origin is outside the wall, so she doesn't like this because she sees this city as an enemy to her kind. That's why she doesn't mind tearing it down. Hey, she can cook. That's nice. Yeah, but that is also, by the way, always the thing. When you have a rigid caste system like this does, when you don't have class mobility, then yeah, you always get punks. You always get punks and rebels and people who want to fight back against it, who disagree with their lot in life because they're smart but they can't climb. He got lucky because his talent was recognized. Yeah. Again, I like the difference in how they're animated. She is so much more. I mean, it makes sense. She's a shapeshifter. So physically, so I don't think it's the thing is too. I think her changing facial expressions and her elastic face is probably what he is actually seeing. It's not just an animation thing. He's probably looking at her, and her eyes are like literally embiggening and smalling, and her mouth is stretching in unnatural ways, and he's seeing this in character. It's not just an animation thing, a style thing. Because his face doesn't do that, and hers does. But she's shapeshifter. Ah, she has updated the wall of murder. Unfortunately, now. Again, we don't know Golden Loin's attitude. We don't know. Yeah, oh, she's got a sensitive pet. That's nice. Nice little sensitive. She doesn't like being called monster. I have a Nimona. Ah, took one of the tacos. That is a very good question. Bored. Okay. Yeah, they gave her a shave on the back, but it's honestly it works better than the side shave haircut. It looks better because it's still punk without being like, oh no, yet another side shave, a female. It's like side shave is the side shave is the mullet of this current generation. I'm gonna go on the record and say that. Please, please let the side shave haircut die. It is a mullet. Stop wearing it, people. Yeah. he's, he's starting to wear them off. Yeah, he is lawful good, but now being thrust in a circumstance where he has to be chaotic good. But she is trying to pull him into chaotic evil. And he's like, no, 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 no. So they both. So so he's suffering from double shock. He is having to go from lawful to chaotic while also resisting the call of evil, which is her. Prevalent energy. God, I love that. That's great. Hey, having a squire who's a shapeshifter would be pretty dang awesome. Hey, a knight can have a squire. And doing that, she gets redemption for herself in many ways. I'm not a girl, I'm a shark. Okay, that's funny. I like that. And Gremlin energy, love it. The moon is a moon. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, the nobles who weren't raised to properly respect the past, so they just use it for tawdry humor. Yeah, no, that's good. That's a good way. That is a good character moment. That shows the decline of respect for the history, which is in turn is the decline of the kingdom. Wales. Roger Dillon is working with Wales. Alex. Rhinoceros is not a unicorn. Although that's a funny reference. I think rhinoceroses inspired the unicorn myth. I want to say. Now she's my number one suspect for who actually killed the queen. It would explain why she also turned on Malister. She knows he's innocent, but she has to pretend to be outraged. He's got good Gaston energy. I mean, at the same time, like he is clearly a jerk. At the same time, his anger is not misplaced. Like he just watched the dude kill his queen. From his perspective, this dude just murdered my leader. Yeah, Golden Lloyd stepping up here. He's torn between loyalty to friend and loyalty to country. Good conflict of character there. I like that. Yeah, he's going to do his duty. He's going to do it with a heavy heart, but he's going to do his duty. That's good. That's a good bit of ability there to his character. And also, I mean, again, he is potentially redeemable here because he's probably going to be open. Like if Alistair show, hey, wasn't me, you're gonna be like, oh, all right, I'll do the right thing because he's not going to condemn an innocent man just for politics' sake. God, I love the chaotic evil, chaotic good contrast here. This is great. But he's still trying to be lawful. It's also adorable. But I am a sucker for the disgraced knight. This is almost overtones of my kid's backstory actually has overtones of Shield Hero. I have to think about it. What's the worst that can? Oh God! Never say what's the worst that can happen. Ah, Nimona tripped that flag on purpose. Oh neat. Okay, now I like this one. Do not be alarmed. Do not be alarmed, citizen. We are only testing the giant death laser. We don't plan to use it on you. We're going to use it on them. No, really. I like this. Nice commentary on the security state. Now, remember, this was written in 2012. So, this is only 11 years after 9/11, Department of Homeland Security. You have Bush and Obama pushing the spy state on the American, not just internationally, but also the American people. So, clearly a bit of commentary on that with the way the security apparatus is. Again, the director, number one suspect now, because now she's got this power. Queen was looking to subvert and remake the institutions. The director clearly benefits from them. So, yeah, it would make sense that she would kill to protect the institution. I mean, we have, look at history. How many times has the leader of a powerful country been assassinated by the folks behind the scenes when he dared to threaten their power? This happened at least once in the 20th century, hasn't it? Kind of a take on that. Oh wow, they have her photo too. Well, of course, in her case, she can just change her human look, can't she? Actually, that's another thing. She can change the animals, but can she change her human look? I don't think we've seen that. Why didn't you think of a mask? Dude, mask. You have, like, uh, is holographic technology not a thing? Who was fourth? Okay, that's funny. I like that one. Her expressions are wonderful. Her expressions are really driving the comedy here. Okay, she turns into like an insect or something. Okay, she can change her human form. She can change into him, but okay, pink has to be a subset of her form. It looks like. I hate everybody. Okay, I like this. I like this. She's doing. That's great. That's great. It really is. I hate babies. Yeah, actually, that's red versus blue. You know, I hate babies. Yeah, yeah. This is yeah. I'm glad they gave the voice actor for him a chance to play that out. That was really good. That's really funny. Oh man, yeah. Nimona's manic energy, they have brilliantly captured that here in the film. It tries to plot. It's not just jokes for jokes' sake too. Yeah, it's not just jokes for joke's sake. It's joke for plot. Like there, it served a point. It was a distraction. You needed it to get by. So they're being choosy with it. They're spicing up moments with instead of just dialogue. They have her doing little gremlin things to make it a little better. Hey, look, more on the surveillance state. Nice. Cameras everywhere, that kind of thing. Yeah. Now I like that. I like that. He hates freestyle jazz. The heck? Yeah, that's his friend. The Golden Loin knows it better than anybody. Yeah, he's starting to figure out that that's a shapeshifter. Yeah. Yep, he's competent. I like it when my heroes are competent. Or well, he's an antagonist. Golden Loin in this case is the antagonist, but he's not evil. And yeah, and at the same time he is um but he's competent. So that's I like it when they do little things like that to make the so that yeah, it'll make it better when Ballister wins because well his enemies were not dumb. Yeah, she picked that out of the garbage. So the fact that she's the fact that she's comfortable eating pizza off the subway floor, I think I think reflects what she's had to do to survive. That's actually a hidden character moment. She's what am I working with? I'm Nimona. Okay, that's not helpful. Yeah, how do your powers work? If you want me to be your boss, I need to know what you can do. Give me your limitations or weaknesses, capacities, so I can strategize. Yeah, that is a fair request. I like this a little bit here. Nice use of the tiles for a flashback. Oh, wait, so she is human? Okay. I thought she was born this way. Now, she might be just BSing him. Let's be fair. It would be in character. Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, she was just messing with him. Alright. It was not a wishing well. I think she was born like this. I'm fairly certain. Yeah, again, I think the character moment there is, she is comfortable eating food that's been dried across the subway floor. If you're comfortable doing that, she's had to do that before. It shows she's been through some hardship. She is like she has some criminal energy, but it covers for just how just how rough she has had it. Boom! Flashbang! He's going to do this by the book. He's not going to be cruel, but he's going to do this by the book, and he's going to do his duty because it's what's expected of him. But yeah, Nimona is a random. He knows Ballister. He knows Ballister's tactics, but Nimona is a chaotic element that he can't anticipate. Oh god, he's one of those. Alright, kill him. Nimona's got the right idea, just kill him. There we go. Golden Lloyd's got a fandom, so that'll get in the way. That's good. That's helpful. Oh, am I car thief now? Oh god, car sales. Oh, that's okay. That's actually a really good tactic. Help me. Oh, unfortunately, this person is actually a horrible monster. I like that reaction. It's like, oh, you're okay. You're that type. Oh, I'm going to scare you. I'm a horrible demon child. I love it. Okay, that's great. That, that is really just great. It's just tossing him around like a ragdoll. Looks a little bit. Oh, pineapple belongs on pizza. I'm okay with pineapple on pizza. Sweet and savory are a perfectly fine mix. Tomato and pineapple work well because combine acidity. Why is the queen killer working with that demon baby? Doesn't he hate them? I like that. That's a good line. Good little one-liners. Should the bad guy hate babies? Okay. There we go. That's good. That's good. And we see here, Golden Loin hesitates. So yeah, unlike the director, Golden Loin doesn't fully believe he's a bad dude. Doesn't fully believe it. Yeah, you stole a car. Oh no, Grand Theft Auto. Just like, just, just shut up. Just shut up. I don't want to be a bad guy. I'm a knight, damn it. Yeah, I mean, this is a man whose entire thing, like his life's dream, was to be a knight, a hero of the realm. And now he is stealing cars and running from the law and scaring people and working with a literal demon child. Yeah, that's. This is very much the exact opposite of what he wanted. Is she immune to damage? If she doesn't feel the pain, that's interesting. Arrow in the leg. Now she's a shapeshifter, so she should be able to shapeshift around the arrow and have it fall out. So she's probably messing with him on it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's another big character moment. We see her eating food off her, and it's like, and it's like, wait, why aren't you screaming and having an arrow in you? It's like, you get used to it. It's like, wait a minute. Under what circumstances do you get used to being shot with arrows? She does bleed though, so she has blood, so she can be injured. She just has a very high pain threshold. Very similar to Killua from Hunter x Hunter. He has a very high pain threshold because he's been tortured. Okay. So she has an inner compulsion that drives her to constantly change form. Right. So shape-shifting externally is a mental compulsion, but also a physical compulsion element. So kind of an allegory there for mental illness. I like that. I like it. She's got some schizophrenia almost, which makes sense for a shapeshifter. Not schizophrenia, DID maybe. I love her grandma energy. No stats. We find one poor miserable dude, and we kill him. I'm just making it sad. Reminds me of Guardians. The dialogue in here reminds me very much of Guardians of the Galaxy, just as a two-man band. I like how the Squire, like, we should see sympathize, but he's actually kind of a horrible person because we've seen him ringing the bell like a Karen. Um we've seen him ringing the bell like a Karen. We've seen him like confront. Oh, hey, we've seen him be like, oh, child in need. Yeah, I'm not dealing with this. Okay, yeah, it was the director. Hey, cool, all right. Well, there we go. Okay, hey, not bad. I called it. Sweet. I'm kind of obvious given that she started giving off evil overlord vibes the moment she got power. So yeah, her motivation though. That's yeah. I'm curious what they're going to explain as the motivation. Unfortunately, I think the Squire's probably going to die. Well, so you should probably send that to Golden Lloyd. Huh? This is interesting. Okay, why isn't he uploading it? Okay, interesting choice on his part. He's resisting the chaos. He's chaotic good. He has to exist outside the law while doing good. But all right, he's still. I like. All right, I disagree with his choice here. It shows a bit of naivete. The wall. I like the Mona's point here. It's like, why aren't you questioning the institution that so easily painted you as a villain? Once you're cast out, that should be a moment of introspection to reflect on the system. The Mona's correct here. His belief that I just need to get to the right people and the system will correct itself. He still has faith in the system. He still has faith in a clearly corrupt and broken system. The Queen went against the system and the system reacted by offing her. Again, where have we seen this before? Person goes in as an outsider, changes the system, and yeah, yeah, system pushes back. Pretty sure they didn't intend those kinds of parallels, but they're there. Oh boy. Yeah, I try not to bring too much politics into this, but dang, yeah, it's a modern allegory. Well, it's funny too. Again, this was written in 2012, so this predates all the current modern day stuff. Huh, now we get more of his thing. Yeah, okay, this is a little over the top for me. I would have preferred. Oh, okay, that's just what's in his mind. Okay, that's better. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Reflection of his inner panic monologue. That's fine. Okay, good. I'm glad they did it that way. If he actually let that out, that would have been a really terrible scene. But yeah, no. Yeah, that's the kind of anxiety and pressure that he should be feeling. Yeah. He's torn between loyalty to the institution and loyalty to his friend. And the show is very clearly taking a stance of be loyal to your friends. Don't be loyal to the state. Don't trust what the state tells you. Don't trust what the institutions tell you. Uh, yeah, that's why you make backup copies, you moron. The social pressure on Ambrosius. Go along with the group. Go along with the peer pressure. Cancel your friend. Huh? Cancel culture a little bit here. Cancel your friend. Go along with the group, or believe in him and believe in what you know is actually true. But yeah, yeah. The irony is that without Nimona, he would have gotten to him. But with Nimona, he can't really. He trusts him just enough, just a little less. No, I like it. Ah, I am a gorilla now. So, alright, I'm not going to kill you. it's interesting. She asked for a sword. She asked to fight. So clearly, she's being set up as some kind of final boss. She knows how to wield a sword. But yeah, he played that dumb. I'm going to criticize his character for that. Like, him being naive and trusting the institution, fine, but it doesn't explain why he was an idiot and didn't make up a backup copy of the video. Why he didn't make a copy so he had a reserve, why he only landed at one. That is dumber than he has been shown to have. He has training. He's trained as a knight. He should know that you don't have just one copy of the thing, especially when you take it to a dangerous situation. You make backups, you make backup plans. So that is I will raise that as a big plot hole in his character. He was not trained that way. At most, you can maybe say that he was under duress and was in a rush, but still, no. Like, he has years of knight training. He was established that he is the best knight out of all of them, and he didn't make a backup copy. Now, if they now at the same time, this also closes the door. He cannot redeem his name now. He doesn't have the evidence. Golden Loin has made his decision. Golden Loin has decided I have to arrest you. I'm going to abandon you. I'm sorry. No, I'm not going to kill you. I like how they have the little ad for the cereal, and then it pops up. Very similar to Big Belly Burger and some of the stuff from Rumi. Hi, you're threatening my boss. Oh, you pushed that. Oh no. Oops. Okay, they actually had something to deal with her. All right. Well, at least they came prepared. So there's. Oh, okay. There we go. Okay, yeah, and see, this makes sense because yeah, all right, nice payoff, nice payoff. She got inspired by what she saw. Creating cereal instead of fire, that's cool in my book. But now the director is like, oh, I think I figured out what you are. I'm guessing that's her actual self. I'm guessing that's what she actually looks like. But yeah, we also see that she's not. Yeah, she's not quite as chaotic evil as she started out. She's not willing. Yeah, kids are innocent. She's not willing to like murder children. She wants to destroy the institutions and the corruption, but she doesn't want to murder children. So there's limits. Okay, good. You've now given her a code. She's a little more relatable. But being rejected by other children, at least something she's used to. And it's the punk styling. It's she's using she's literally using the pink hair as a "stay away from me" warning sign. Yeah, using the bright colors as an animal with disabled poison, which is actually ties into a bit of a meme. Mm-hmm. Yep. Also pointing out that yeah, fear. Yep, being raised to kill what disagrees with you, being raised to kill what you see as the outsider. Fear leads to the dissolution of trust in the society and its collapse. Yeah, she is, again, great point. And now, yeah, okay, now I like this. Yeah, with the door shut to his redemption, now he is open to her perspective. Because her earlier point was like, yeah, you're relying on an institution that is corrupt. This isn't going to turn out how you think it is. And then, yeah, she was right. Now it's like, all right, he's so good character moment for him. He's smart enough to realize when he was wrong. He's admitting he was wrong. He's not stubbornly sticking to his guns. He's like, nope, you're right. I was wrong. My bad. So good on him. He has the sense to realize when he was wrong. Yeah. But now he knows the target. He knows the true villain, the director. So it's like, all right, I may go down a villain, but I'm taking you with me. Yeah. Good on Goldloin here. He does want answers. He has enough faith in his friend left to know that Alistair wouldn't just outright lie. Unfortunately, just the many answers doesn't get to the answers, dude. He's not doing this smartly, but he's emotional, so alright. Okay. Now she has to listen to monologue. Why would she reveal any of this to him, though? Unless she's planning to kill him. She's probably planning to kill him. Okay. So we see here. Yeah, okay, she was planning to kill him. Alright, that makes sense. That's fine. It's like, yeah, dude, you should have kept your guard up. If you suspected her, why didn't you just march it on your own? Why didn't you bring your sword with you? Why didn't you, like, keep your guard up? You dumb. Again, you have training as a knight. Why didn't you anticipate this? Although he is, his naivete, I guess, makes sense because we saw with Alistar. His naivete is even greater than Alistair's is. He has more faith because he hasn't been cast out by it. Yeah. Wait, Wait, is that Nimona? Is that Nimona pretending to be him? Oh, that's a good. That would be smart if this is actually Nimona. This is a plan. Okay, nice. Nice, nice. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Okay, plot hole is drawn. Very smart. It makes sense that she's so arrogant that she would think that she could just get away with that. Cool. Yeah, nice, nice classic sting operation. Now, and that's plausible enough because that is kind of a police style sting operation, which you'd be trained how to do because the knights are law enforcement. Unfortunately, though, we do see that he was dumb enough to still charge in there on his own and demand to talk to her. So, all right, at least we can actually see it happen. Okay, but now what? All right, you got the video, so why are you guys just playing around? All right, so you have the incriminating footage. Why aren't you doing something with it? I mean, it makes sense he's lost faith in Goldenloin, so he's not going to Goldenloin with it because he doesn't think Goldenloin will believe him even if he shows it to him. That's fine. He's lost faith in the institution, but all right, why are you partying now? Your plan isn't done yet. You got the footage. Oh, she can breathe fire. That's cool. Hey, we see that he is lightening up. That is another good character moment. Really good character beat. It's like he sees something, he sees her do something weird, and at this point, it's like, yeah, oh, okay, you can do this other weird thing. Neat. All right, this one I'm just used to it. That's par for the course. Let's see you take an arrow and not scream. Okay, they did upload it. All right, I missed that. Okay, so they uploaded it first, then celebrated. All right. Sorry, I missed that. That's my bad. That is my bad. Okay, they're letting social media do the work. That's actually kind of a funny. Social media brings down the corruption. Nice, nice. Now, I bet you she'll claim it's like a deep fake or something like that. I don't know. That'd be funny. Yeah. Now, that's probably also why you need the fantasy elements, the advanced. Yeah, so social media doing some good is nice. Okay. And we see him relaxing because it's like he got what he wanted. Party, party, party. Ah, okay, that was funny. I like that. Who's the real villain? Right. So, right. So are they going to, okay, and then they just let the people do the work. Now, in this sense, the movie itself reflects a certain naivete because they expect that the people, like once you reveal the villain to the people, that the people will just naturally rise up and get rid of the villain. But as we've seen, even if the people are aware of the ability, there are still people dumb enough to believe, oh no, there's something else going on. Oh no, it's really not all that bad. So the movie it's interesting. The writing does reflect a little bit of naivete there in terms of its faith in the people, but acceptable. I'll allow it because yeah, it's nice. It's nice to see some optimism in the humanity. Zombies are immortal beings. Hmm. I don't feel too bad. I think most zombie films establish that if there's any consciousness remaining, they actually want you to kill them because it's suffering. Please put me out of my suffering, please. God, imagine if she shapeshifts into a dragon in her sleep. That would be unfortunate. Hey, pink punk gremlin, love it, love it. It's adorable. She's adorable. And I really like her design in this. Again, her design here is much better than the original comic. They really knew what they were doing. They clearly studied some of the Goblin art that is out there. Nachos. Oh, nice. All right. Now, yeah, we have been wondering what is Nimona. So, all right, it looks like they're setting up some kind of third act twist here with Nimona's backstory. The director is clearly in trouble. Nachos. Nachos. I do love nachos. All right. Oh God, she's a, she's actually claiming it's a deep fake. Oh my God, she's actually claiming it's a deep fake. That is okay. That is really funny. It wasn't me. It was AI. Oh God, the enemy within. Oh my God, they're actually touching on domestic terrorism and oh God, yes, sowing dissent and suspicion amongst the populace. Yes, the person next to you could be a vicious terrorist who wants to destroy your safety. Oh my God, that's great. Oh man, I'm trying to avoid the politics, but the movie does put it in you. But it's doing it. It's doing it in a clever way, and I don't think the movie even realizes that it works pretty much no matter how you see it. Because it's just good. That's actually what you want. So wait. So oh, I see. So so Golden Loin. So Golden Loin's convinced that Nimona, disguised as the director, implanted the sword. Okay, now this is a cool thing because okay, so Ballister has experienced what it's like to be cast out, what it's like to be have the people who you thought could trust you turn on you and abandon you and not believe you. He has experienced it now firsthand, and now it's being thrown on Nimona because the director is now trying to frame Nimona for her crimes and saying, "Hey, Nimona shapeshifted to me, planted the plant, it's a monster. She did all of this." So will Ballister turn on Nimona like Golden Line turned on him? But the director is still the real villain. That's pretty obvious. Now, Golden Loin's concern for him makes sense here. Golden Loin's actions make total sense. He's this is a quick and easy explanation for him, and he's willing to accept. It's easier for him to accept that an outside monster impersonated the director than that the director, the institution he serves, is evil. He's way more willing to believe an external threat over an internal one. Naivete. Ballister, on the other hand, though, now having had a taste of the outside and how bad the institute is less likely. But the seed's been planted. Seed's been planted. He has to know. He has to check. But it is inconsistent with Nimona's actions up to date, as we've already seen. We know that wasn't her. We know that Queen assassination isn't something she does. She would put spray paint on the Queen. She put a kidney sign on the Queen. She wouldn't assassinate the Queen. Right. This is his lawful good night training coming through. Now the trick is, yeah, his paranoia is peaked because he's been betrayed. He's been betrayed by a lot of people close to him. So paranoia is spiked, and now that's applying to Nimona too. But it's inappropriate. Here it's inappropriate. Yeah, his instincts kicked in. Yeah, didn't make the right choice, but it makes sense. This is very consistent. When you've been betrayed, when you've experienced a ton of betrayal, your paranoia goes up. You start seeing shadows everywhere. The people close to you, you stop trusting them even though you should. And yeah, that's the kind of thing that happens. That's the kind of mistake that you can make in that circumstance. So yeah, that's great, great inversion there. Alistair becomes the outcast who is not trusted, and then Alistair turns around and perpetuates that right onto Nimona here, despite he should know better. But that's how it happens. That's how it happens. Oh, okay. And we see it here with like, okay, she tries to approach birds, gets turned away. We saw it happen with fish or with humans, and it happened. She tries to approach fish, they turn away. I see. Okay. She's like a bat in the tale of the War of the First Beasts and Birds. The bats were outcast from both groups because they fit into both. And so similar thing here. As a shapeshifter, she's never been accepted by any of the ones who are, real. Because she's never not actually the thing she turned into. She's a unique thing. Okay. Nice. We're getting her actual origin story this time. Yeah. And animals will reject an outsider based on instinct because they don't think, they don't have a mind. Humans are able to accept an outsider if they are non-threatening. But at the same time, we have a conflict. We have our lizard brains. Our lizard brains tell us reject the outsider, fear, 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 because that's our instinct. That's our animal side. But as humans, as intellectual things, we can also accept what is different and outside. Because we could be like, no, no, this other thing is not threatening. Okay, so now we see the power thing, and oh no, no, okay, this is fine. Okay, cool. Yay! So someone who accepted what she could do. Cool, cool. All right, that's neat. All right, that's a cool scene. I like that. So here you have someone who can accept her. Yeah, it shows humanity's potential. So a lot of ways the movie is talking about our thinking minds can override our lizard brains, and sometimes that is good, sometimes that is bad. We're seeing a reflection on that here. Like here, we're seeing this kid is accepting her. The actual brain is overriding the lizard brain, and that's a good thing. But we see that here played out with Golden Loin, because Golden Loin's rational brain is overriding his instincts. His instincts are telling him the director is evil, don't trust the director. You know, Alistair's right, director's wrong. But his rational brain is overriding that, which is why we're getting duped. And here we see the peer pressure. The group fears, and then the group imposes its irrational fear upon the individual, forces the individual to conform to the group fear. It's like, we are all afraid of this thing. You, individual, must be afraid of this thing as well. You will accept and obey the fear that we have. Oops. Yeah, this is why you shouldn't play with fire, kids. Oh, look, things are burning. Not our fault. You threw a freaking torch, you moron. Oh, my beloved peasant village. Oh, okay, that's Glorath. Okay, okay. Oh, no. Oh, I see. Okay, all right. That's a neat origin. I like that. I like that. Childhood friend betrayed. So we see that played out again here with Golden Loin and Ballister. Neat. I do love my historical parallels in a fantasy story. Nice, nice, well done. But yeah, being betrayed again by Pallister is bringing back the really bad memories. And oh, okay, yeah, there is a darker side to her powers that she, yeah. The pink happy side is one thing, but she's got more than that. Oh, and it's not just a monster; she is the monster. That's the thing. Like she's not just a random monster from the outside. She is the monster. She is the inspiration for the warning. Yeah, she's the one. So that means Glorith couldn't actually stop her. Alistair, you better apologize. You really better apologize, because yeah. Now, as much of a jerk as he is, and his anger is not misplaced yet. Again, his character is consistent. He's an idiot. He's a jerk, but he is doing what he believes is the right thing. He does have a code that he is following and it is consistent. He's just doing it for his own sake. He has his own biases and he acts on. He's a character. It's good. I mean, it's neat to have a jerk character who's consistent with it. He's not just doing whatever the story demands of him. He actually behaves in a consistent, predictable manner. I like that. Oh boy, yeah. Now we can see. Now we get to see what Nimona can really do. Oh boy, and they don't have guards to protect them. It's happening! It's happening! This is not a drill. Now, what's interesting though is now what this story is unintentionally proving is that yeah, their paranoia and fear were justified because yeah, something like this. I mean, Nemona's probably not one of a kind. This means that yeah, sure enough, there really are big, giant, scary kaiju out there. They have a reason to be afraid. They actually have a reason to have all these defense networks and stuff like that. It's not just made up stuff to keep the populace in line. There is actually external threat to the city, which justifies the infrastructure that they have. So, so unintentionally, the movie is unfortunately the story is proving the necessity for the security infrastructure they have because there is an actual external threat. You know, the only reason they weren't attacked is because it comes down to Nimona's mental health, which is, as we see here, kind of fragile. So, yeah, yeah, it is. Oops, it's your reason. Yeah, we did see the big death laser cannon, so they'll probably come to play here. Now, I do wish the summary, because the summary of the film did kind of spoil what the Mona was. Um, so the summary of the film is really, really terrible. Okay, we still got like a half hour left here, too. Oh, that's okay. Now we're in the third act. So the revelation of Mona's nature was the second act. Okay. And I mean, it makes sense that she would resent that kind of thing because she is the thing that inspired it, and it was unintentional. She feels bad about having been rejected by the mom. So yeah, it's kind of funny how the oh yeah, clay was not designed to be pointed inwards. That's also amusing. I like see. I like this. He's not willing to sacrifice the innocent to protect the city. She is. That's a really good moral difference there. He is more morally upstanding than she is. He wants to take care of them. He still wants to kill the monster and save, but he wants to kill the monster to save people. Which is a totally fine reason to want to kill another being. He doesn't understand the backstory here at all. None of them do. Not even Pallister understands. Because Nimona wouldn't tell them. Actually, that's another thing. If Nimona, here's the thing, if Nimona had been more upfront about what she was to Pallister, this wouldn't have happened. So Nimona's secrecy is a cause here. At the same time, too, Nimona is also looking at the damage she causes. She clearly can experience regret for how she saved the kid before. She doesn't necessarily want to kill these people. But she's being reminded of the fact that, yeah, in this form, she is hurting people. She is, being a monster. Hmm. Yeah. She's sad. Yeah. She was rejected. So, yeah, Palace. So we have here the theme of rejection. She was rejected by Glorith and her village, cast out as after experiencing literally a lifetime of rejection. Palliser was rejected by being a knight because of his bloodline in a similar manner. So, good theme of rejection. I like that. I really like how the movie explores the theme of being cast out and how it takes shape and how it's very much a mob mentality that does. Individuals are kind and accepting. People are dumb. Men in Black. Yeah, here it is Ballister who is opening up to to her, whereas the people are afraid. Ballister is not. Ballister understands her. So here we see him proving why he is better than Goldenloin. Because Goldenloin was put in the same circumstance, an even lesser one, and Goldenloin could not overcome the peer pressure. He could not overcome the the rejection. He gave in to the peer pressure. Ballister Ballister is a better man. He is a better knight than Goldenloin because he can set aside the peer pressure. I mean, and this is even worse because she is a monster right now. She has caused damage. She probably has killed some people here, but he's still fighting within himself to forgive her and to understand that his rejection caused this. That this rampage is his fault. He triggered this. He needs to deal with it, and that is what he's doing. He's owning that, and he's understanding that no, this isn't her real nature, essentially. And so he is rejecting the peer pressure, which is on an even more massive scale than what Goldenline has, and accepting her. That's powerful. That's good. That is an excellent character moment. It was set up very well because we see him loosening up. We see him growing beyond the rigid hierarchical moral code. Good. And we see Golden Loin finally also stepping up, inspired by Ballister. Ballister has inspired Golden Loin now to follow his example. What if we're wrong? Yeah, good point. Like, yeah, blowing up half your city, yeah, like you don't want to blow up half your city and kill half your people without a good cause. Unless, oh no, okay. Oh boy, that's all right. She's definitely convinced to no. So yeah, we see him. He is hopeful. He's inspired. He has help. She is consumed by fear. Lawrence gave in. Lawrence was weak. She gave in. She's even weaker. Because, Lawrence wasn't willing to kill half the village just to take out Nimona. This one is. She's way worse. Yeah. Yeah, Ballister is sort of the big character, but yeah, Nimona, yeah, was better here. Yeah, she can take other forms. She can do Big Sky Monster or Super Brian Phoenix. Savior. Nice. Like that. I love Phoenix. Explosions! I do love a good explosion. Now, also, bold choice here. In, in both cases, the entities imposing the fear, leading the charge, doing the rejection, women. Loris and the director here, both women. Women as the cause. Women as the most susceptible, essentially, to the peer pressure. Meanwhile, it's guys, Alistair and Goldenloin, who are learning to resist that peer pressure. Kind of interesting. I don't know if that was intentional or not. I don't know if that was intentional. But yeah, uh, women falling for the over socialization and pushing the socialization and pushing the cancellation and the paranoia and the fear and so on. While Alistair and Goldenloin are the two who kind of start pushing back against that. That it's kind of neat. Wasn't expecting that. You don't see a lot of um, don't see that too often. The man being the one to step up against the bad stuff, and the women being the ones to kind of be the ones pushing it. But hey, that's interesting. Again, don't know if that was intentional on the movie's part. Oh boy, yeah. Oh man. Oh no. Is the moon dead? Oh no. But hey, the wall's broken, so now hey, we can actually go out there. And now we awaken the wall and genocide the population with the giant titans. No, wait, wrong show, sorry. Yep. Uh, yeah, so with the director gone, good. So the fear and the paranoia is gone. So hopefully now the security state is diminished a little bit. Now they get it happen after. That Golden Loin's naivete is gosh, Alistair is yeah, scrapping the death laser. Yeah, and now you have travel. So yes, the world improves when you stop cutting yourself off and trade and exchange. Oh, that's nice. Of course, we don't establish what the other kingdoms are like or where they are, so we'll just assume that there are other places. We'll assume this is not all of humanity. But yeah, the question is, so Nimona's very, very old, and she's been around, and she's clearly been like this from birth. So is she one of a kind? That's something that this is not established. I mean, we assume she's alone because she doesn't have anyone else to hang with, but I mean, where are the others of her kind, of her species? And the show, I really like that the show does earn this kind of quiet moment here. Because, yeah, we did see them having fun. We did see them forming a good, genuine bond of friendship here. I like that. We love Nimona. So I guess he doesn't go back to being a knight based on his outfit. So who knows? But yeah, I mean, Golden Lloyd is probably the head of the institute now. They obviously do still need, police and so on. She's behind him, isn't she? She would do that. Hey, all right, that's fine. Of course. Yeah, Gloria thought she killed her, so. All right. So, overall, very good. Let's see if there's anything else here in the credits before if I'll come turn. A lot of what I said during it um, will be is pretty much what I'm going to summarize here at the end. So yeah, the story. So yeah, so Stevenson did really well there with I think Queen. I think was one of the people she consulted there. I think she's also producer on this. I wonder if this Robert Baird guy is related to Spencer Baird. Spencer Baird's a famous Hollywood editor. You'll see him brought in like productions that are in trouble. You would see his name pop up. I think it's Spencer Baird on the side. But yeah, he's a or was Stewart. I can't remember. But yeah, there's like this editor. Yeah. Wonder if there's two are related. Oh, Eugene Lee Yang. Okay. Francis Conroy. I don't recognize too many of these voices. I don't know. I don't know much of the cast. I did love the Demon Child bits. And as I said, let's say that doesn't seem to be too much for now. Let's see. Yeah, yeah, they're doing the look oh fancy thing. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know much of this. The music is. I'll comment on the music here. So soundtrack was okay. It had some songs in there. It, none of the music in here really stuck with me too much. I mean, it was appropriate. It was appropriately peppy and kind of like um, alternative, I guess. Is the term for it. It was alright. It was alright. So music was okay. It facilitated the action scenes, but none of it really stood out to me. Um, Animation quality was really good, really good. The way they okay, I'm gonna jump forward a little bit here. Okay, how long are the credits on this thing? Like 15 minutes of credits. Good lord. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, okay. So apparently Crispy Dragon was Noel Stevenson. Huh, that's funny. They actually put themselves in there a little bit. Ah, that's fine. That's fine. Always music when I do that kind of thing. I don't recognize any of these voice actors at all, so yeah. I'm gonna jump forward. Um, let's see. Anything here at the end? Any post credit scenes? Okay. Interestingly, they did credit Blue Sky Studios, um, so I'm guessing some of this was worked on by Blue Sky before it got scrapped by Disney. Because man, this thing has been in production for 8 years. 8 years production babies. I'm surprised the list isn't longer. Okay, so Quebec and Connecticut. All right. So this was produced with SAG-AFTRA. At the time of this recording, there is currently a strike going on. So like a whole bunch of productions have been slapped by Netflix and others. So that's funny. Let's see. All right. Oh, okay, so we. All right, and she's back up to her old graffiti ways. Yeah. Love anarchy. All right, that's funny. Let's see. All right, is that all? Yeah. Okay, so that is everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause there. Let me go back here, find a good scene. Um, I love her intro. Oh yeah, there's a bit where they escape, and she's just like, yeah, everything's on fire, and I love it. I like that thing. Oh, there it is. Just there we go. Just slip this back play out there. And it to me it perfectly encapsulated her gremlin energy. I mean, she's a shapeshifter, but honestly, she reads like a goblin personally, and I'm all about that. Okay, there we go. That's a good scene. Yeah, I just yeah, I love that expression. So all right. So I talked about it. So on the technical aspects, so is this better than She-Ra? Yes, it is so much better than She-Ra. Good lord, it is better than She-Ra. Man, yeah. So they did an excellent job. Excellent job. This is a definite, good. I would say overall it's pretty good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I mean, you do obviously you have LGBT elements in here. You know, Alistair and Golden Loin are, clearly a couple. Nimona and Glorith were kind of implied to be a couple there. So you do have LGBT characters kind of in the forefront, but they don't. What I like is they're not like, I am gay and that is my entire character. No, they don't do that. They don't do that. There's actually like things to them other than just who they sleep with, which is important. When you are telling a story, when you're making characters, you want there to be more to a given relationship. Relationships have to feel like relationships. They have to not feel like window dressing, which is how a lot of Hollywood productions use them, which is one reason people have gotten very tired of it. It's like, oh no, an LGBT character, and they're just going to be shallow and just talk about how great it is to have this, and they're just going to be one note and boring. Yeah, usually it's become associated with bad writing so much that people have unfortunately gotten tired of it. Here, not so much. So that's good. That's good. They have actual character. They have actual depth. This is a reflection. This show had several elements that I was hoping to see in She-Ra, because Stevenson's character work is pretty strong. When she writes dialogue and when she works on her characters, she's able to give good nuance and depth to them, as well as creating very good clashes of ideals and romanticism between the characters that arise in the stories. I was really kind of hoping for more than She-Ra, and instead I got a very watered down, rushed, poorly edited, and poorly implemented kind of work, which was very, very disappointing to me. And I had much higher expectations for She-Ra because of the things that I had read from Nimona there in the early pages. So this, to me, really captures some of the energy we should have seen, some of the production quality we should have seen put into She-Ra, but we didn't. And I think that reflects also that you have probably a better talent pool behind this one than She-Ra had. So good. I'm glad this work got adapted well. So I'm going to say yes, this is a good movie. Overall, I enjoyed this. I laughed. I was very amused. Now let's see. Let's get into details. So I said music, nothing to write home about. Music's okay. It's serviceable. And let's see, editing is fine. Pacing's good. Everything moves. Nothing feels like it drags. They don't dwell too long. Every scene has a point to it to advance either character or plot or both. Very good. The only plot point, story wise, the biggest plot hole that I can see um, is Ballister just not making a backup copy of the video. It's so important. Why didn't you make a backup copy? Now, it is, in the end, I would say that does get plugged in by how the director handles it. By saying, hey, this is a shapeshifter. She just turned into me, pretended to be me, and that's the frame up. So as I pointed out, clearly a commentary on deepfake AI, or at least now it is. I don't know if it was intended as that in 2012, but now, oh yeah, deepfakes and AI stuff, definitely very relevant to that current technological trend. So even if you had made a backup copy of the video, you still would have seen the same thing play out. So had Ballister kept a copy of the original, uploaded that as the evidence, then she would have had the director would have had the exact same response. So ultimately, that plot hole gets plugged by the fact that it wouldn't have made a difference to how things played out, I think. And also, because of how that played out, that was the push he needed to dispel his naivete, to help him grow, and to start questioning the power institutions that were corrupt and based on fear, and that led to him being a better person. So yeah, it's okay. Or sorry. So I would say it's a plot hole of his character that he didn't think to make a backup, but ultimately, story wise, it works out. So it's more minor than I thought it would be. So just fine. It's good. It's good. So let's see what other aspects. Yeah, the animation is great. My favorite part of the animation is Mona herself. As I said, she is a gremlin. She's got goblin energy up the wazoo. She's a little short snack, and it's great. She uses pink as the hazard colors, which is all kinds of a meme, but I'm all about that. I love it. I like that, she uses the pink to stand out, but when she gets moody and depressed, she goes into that black monster thing. But yeah, she's using pink. It's a subconscious thing. And her use of pink is to dispel the idea that she is a monster, because pink isn't a monster color. Pink is friendly. Hey, look, I'm pink. I'm cute. Yeah. Look at me. I'm not scary. I'm pink. Pink's not scary. Huh? Huh? Accept me. So, nice. Good use of that in many ways. A good psychological nod that reflects her character. Good little bit. And yeah, I love the faces she makes and all that. And as I said, based on how everyone around her is animated versus her, I think it's very clear that when we see her make an exaggerated expression like this with the pointy teeth and the big eyeballs and things like that, and her jawline changing, that's not a style thing. That's not something that we are seeing. Like Ballister is also seeing that. That is something from his perspective. He is seeing her face warp and her teeth change. He is seeing that in character as well, which is one thing that's freaking him out a little bit. And so he's like, whoa, how are you able to do this? Whoa, like, there's something wrong with your face. Oh my God. So, yeah, that is clearly meant as, I think, an in-character, in-universe uh, distortion, essentially, to her looks. That reflects the fact that, yeah, she's not human. She's a shapeshifter. She's not a person. It's cool. It's cool. I like that a lot. The drawing of him, again, reminds me very much of Prince of Egypt with the pointy chins and the longer faces and so on. So Prince of Egypt is what I would compare this to, which I guess makes sense. I think I believe Prince of Egypt was DreamWorks. Oh man, I forgot what the DreamWorks of 20th century. I know Blue Sky has done other shows before, so I don't know. I'm not going to bother looking it up, but I like the style. I really like the animation style. It is better than the source material, I'm going to say. No Tumblr nose. It's good. Also, I mean, technically, also, by the way, Nimona with the pink hair and the freckles, she's technically a redhead. She is a variation of a redhead. So, yeah, so if you like the redheads, got your redheads right here. There you go. Nice. Very good. Yeah, in her more base human form, she does explicitly have red hair. So that's kind of cool. Hey, we got a redhead. Nice. Thank you. Appreciate having red hair and more characters. We need more red hair out there. Um, Now let's see. Nimona's character is. Let's see. Oh no, hold on. Let me stick to the technical stuff. Let's see. Animation is good. Music, pacing. Yeah, let's go to the characters. Yeah. A lot of what I've said here. So let's see. Themes or characters first. Sorry, I'm a little disorganized because man, that was a longer feature. I'm also starting to run out of steam. Ooh, I'll get used to this. Oh crap! I forgot to make another note. Oh well, I may have to split this into two parts depending on how long this goes and how big the file is ultimately. I don't know. All right. Let's see. Ballister's character, I like. The big overarching theme to me is I know they've made a big thing about like gender fluidity and stuff like that. It's like, okay, well, yeah, she's a shapeshifter. I mean, that's kind of obvious. Like, let's go beyond just like, look, stuff is fluid. Well, she's a shapeshifter. Let's go to the theme of rejection here. Now, Stevenson, who is gay in real life, married Ostertag, so on. So gay marriage there. She is clearly grounding this in an LGBT experience of being rejected by society and so on. But what's cool here is it's not just about that. If all you see is just, oh, it's LGBT and you leave it there, you're not digging deep enough. The same way, X-Men, I'm going to compare this to X-Men in a lot of ways. Stan Lee with the X-Men created a group of people who are outcast from society because of their powers. And now, he roots that with Magneto, he roots that into the Jewish Holocaust. Stan Lee, being Jewish, understood what it was like to be an outcast from popular society. So he had that with Magneto, a Jew who survives the Holocaust. He's experienced the worst impact of being an outcast. But the condition of the X-Men being outcasts is more than just, blacks and civil rights, Jews in the Holocaust, or LGBT. It is the general human condition of being outcast from society, of being rejected for some reason, whatever that reason may be, and the experiences of it and the impacts upon the psyche. And this show, I think, taps into that as well. I think and that is better writing. If you can go beyond just a specific instance and go to the general instance. That is better writing, and that's what we have here. Nimona's experience, Ballister's experience go beyond their limitations. Ballister was an outcast who, and it's interesting too. Like I don't, there's no implication here that Ballister is an outcast because of his orientation. Ballister and Golden Loin's relationship is just their relationship. That's one thing I was mentioning earlier. It's yeah, okay, the two of them are boyfriends. No one seems to care. There's no special commentary. He's not hazed because they're going out. No one ever really makes a big deal out of it. It's just like, oh, you two are dating. That's fine. They care more about the fact that he's common born. They care more about his bloodline. He's not nobility. He doesn't have a. He's not a legacy hire. He's a merit hire. So that's kind of neat. He's a meritorious person who puts the legacy hires to shame. Yeah, that breeds resentment because they're jealous of him. I like that. That's a really cool theme. You have the condemnation of a rigid caste, rigid hierarchy. Um, you see, um, you see him outcast from that. You see Nimona outcast because she's different. She has the uncanny valley vibes that a shapeshifter would trigger in an animal there, but then humans are able to overcome that until they don't because fear. You know, how do you overcome fear and rejection and so on? So that goes to people who are just rejected in general. And we see that play out in the psyche. We see obviously, the director was the main one. She is all consumed by fear. She set him up. So her reaction, unfortunately, can't really be used as an example. But the reaction by you have the guy who never liked him to begin with. He obviously falls for it. He obviously is like, yeah, okay, well, obviously you're evil. I always thought you were lesser. So yeah, this makes total sense. And I always thought you were lesser than me. So the fact that you did this thing is perfectly aligned with my preconceived notions of what you would do. Golden Lloyd, on the other hand, he knows better. He knows Ballister very well. He knows Ballister is an excellent man. He knows that he's a good person. And so for him to do this, it creates a conflict within him that he's trying to resolve. It's like the action of Ballister murdering the queen does not sit well with the actions of Ballister being a good and honest person to him. And and we see that conflict then also come play with the director. It's like no, the director has been leading us. She's a great leader. She cares about it. She loves her country. It doesn't make sense that she would murder the queen, which is an act of high treason. That doesn't make sense. So we see those two conflicts play out with Goldeneye over time. And at first, the state wins out. His trust in the state wins out due to Ballister's association with Nimona. But we finally see him start to kind of come around, but still be naive. Only at the end to finally make the right choice and to stand with the right and to make the right call. And then we see with Ballister, he is cast out. He becomes and, he's always been a bit of an outcast, but then he's even more of an outcast. He gets cranked to 11. But then he runs into Nimona, who is the ultimate outcast. She is outcast not only from humans, but from animals and other beasts. So she belongs nowhere. She has been outcast for 1,000 years. She has gone through what Ballister has in his shorter lifespan for much, much longer than he has. She is infinitely more familiar with that outcast thing. And then he is put in a circumstance of replicating the thought error of Golden Loin and the others on him, and he does give into it. His lizard brain asserts itself, just as it did with Glorith, even though Glorith should have known better. We have that parallel between Ballister and Glorith there. But unlike Glorith, Ballister is able to admit that he is wrong. And what's great is we see that set up because we see him, when he brings the video and he says, "Hey, here's the thing, here's the proof." Oh crap, you guys don't believe me. Well, the door to redemption is closed. I'm going another way. Hey, Nimona, you were right. The system sucks. Let's help tear it down. I am no longer interested in preserving this institution because this institution is itself a problem. I need to tear this down because it is wrong. Your assessment was correct. He's man enough to know when he's wrong. It's great. It's great. That was a good character moment for him. And then we see him again admit he was wrong. And he was wrong to give into his lizard brain. The lizard brain was wrong. And yeah, no, he accepts responsibility for having caused the rejection and causing her rampage. I mean, like, no, no, you're not. No, you're not that. I know. And and that inspires Goldeneye. And he becomes a hero. He becomes the hero. And that's good. A hero that is able to overcome the lizard brain and become a human. It speaks to the human condition. What separates us from the animals? We are not dictated by our instincts. We have emotions, we have feelings, but we can override them with reason and ration and sympathy. Compassion is an act of our higher brain functions. It's not something that animals have, and we are capable of it. And that's what Alistair demonstrates. Alistair wins the day by being human, by having by taking a higher stance, rather than wallowing in fear and emotion like the director does, and like the director encourages others to do. Be afraid, be afraid, be afraid. She is spouting the Fenors. She is exploiting the fear of the populace, encouraging the populace to wallow in the baser lizard brains. And Malister inspires by showing that there is a higher path. That's great. That's great. I like that. Is that explicitly what the writers intended? Maybe, maybe not, but it's what they did. And I appreciate that. I appreciate when a work is inspiring people to be better than their lizard brains. Because there's so much out there that's just lizard brain, lizard brain, lizard brain. We see that any form of tribalism essentially relies on the lizard brain. We see that with Glorith, falling into that. We see that with Golden Loin, falling into that trap. I really like that. I like that reflection. Speaks to me very highly. And, again, Shield Hero on the anime front is kind of the big current modern day one for it. Of course, before that, you have Jobless Reincarnation, also explored that theme. The concept of main character as an outcast is pretty common in anime. I will probably get into that. Actually, Fate Strange Fate, which I'll probably cover, has strains of it too. You also get in Fate Zero with Waver Velvet. So, but we'll touch on that theme of being an outcast and overcoming it by becoming a better person. We'll touch on that again some more later. It's a great theme. It's a great theme. It's a time-honored theme that I really enjoy. Actually, another teen movie, Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken, also touched on this theme a bit, and didn't do too terrible a job. It's essentially a less cringe version of Turning Red. So I might watch that one here, and it did not deserve to be the bomb that it was. But yeah, I would say this is definitely a far more sophisticated build than Ruby Gilman. I'm going to say that. Ruby Gilman was fun though. I enjoyed that one. But this is definitely better. The depth of writing and theme is much stronger. So yeah, theme of outcast, theme of turning against others. You have the clear psychological thing. Golden Loin's journey I find very fascinating. Golden Loin is an excellent supporting character because he has doubts, but once a lot of people, once they are given a an out to resolve the conflict, like as soon as it's like, oh, that wasn't the director who was evil, that was just the shapeshifter, an outsider. Okay, yeah, he's been conditioned to treat outsiders as the enemy, as his Ballister the whole time, and that's also an extension here. Ballister was the outsider because he wasn't noble-born, so we see the one jerk who is not able to overcome his preconceived notions about a non-noble in the Knights, and so we see him giving into the fear of that. Golden Loin is able to overcome that, but Golden Loin is not able to take the next step, which is to overcome the idea of, someone outside the wall not being an enemy. Ballister is. So that's what makes Ballister the true hero and Golden Loin number 2, which is good. That's a good reflection there. And Golden Loin's journey we see because he doesn't have Ballister's essentially hero calling is him getting kicked out from being a hero, which is also a great subversion. He's essentially put into the cave at the very start. Yeah, we see him, he had a bit of the classic hero's journey, kid making it big thanks to his talent, and then he gets immediately stuck in the cave when the queen dies. It's like, crap, I'm on the run. So that was good. And Golden Loin's journey of first, it's like, man, I don't know what the heck is going on. It's like, all right, so I'm torn between loyalty to the state and loyalty to my friend. Which one I betray? Well, my friend is currently cavorting with this weird shapeshifter thing, so something weird is going on with him. So I'm going to arrest him and then hope things settle down a little bit, maybe. He just Nimona tips his faith just enough towards the state to open up that moment of weakness, and then the director comes out, and then we do see it's like, all right, I'm ready to confront the director. The institution is corrupt. There's clear evidence. I'm not going to dot my I's. You know what? Alistair told me she was a killer. I trust my friend. All right. And then we see it tip back. And then the director pulls the Hail Mary of, yeah, it turns out Nimona is the monster from 1,000 years ago and it's been plotting all along. A clear lie. But that's enough for him to say, oh, well, this resolves the conflict immediately. Okay, the director was never evil. Alistair was never evil. It was this outside threat. Okay, that solves all my problems. It's nice. It's convenient for him, and he latches onto it, even though it's a lie. It's a convenient lie. Convenient lies are a vulnerability to us. Even the best of us are willing to subscribe to convenient lies to justify or to resolve painful emotional confrontations. The truth was the director was the villain all along, but he fell for the convenient lie that it was Nimona because it meant he didn't have to think about the director being bad. Good moral lesson there. There's a good moral lesson about, not falling for convenient lies and instead confronting hard truths. That's good. That is good. I love the Motus thing. Of course, they tie it into the metal, rock, punk archetype here with Nimona of being the rebel, being the free thinker, being the outsider, of not subscribing to what the group says, of avoiding tribalism and all that. Very nice to see that. Of course, you also have the commentary here about the state security apparatus. Again, the Queen was starting to open things up. She was starting to change the old ways, and so the old ways pushed back. The Queen was actually an early example. She is one who tried to use her higher brain functions, and so the director, the lizard brain, silenced her. And we see that countless times in history. The leader who steps up and says, the way things are now needs to change. This is not good. We need to do better to move forward. And they're silenced. They are attacked. They are framed. Alistair was a good guy who rose through, a man of the people, and he is framed for a crime of rebellion that he did not do. Very appropriate. These are, again, I don't know if the intent was to condemn the security state and so on. And it was 2012. In 2012, it was very common to condemn the surveillance state and so on. You see that with Little Brother by Cory Doctorow. He wrote it. It was inspired by the Bush era Homeland Security stuff, but it ended up being published under Obama, so it ended up being a criticism of Obama's security state apparatus. So, which was interesting because, I guess spoilers, they were the same. Anyway, sorry, I'm trying to avoid politics a little bit, but I figured if I'm bipartisan with it, you can hate me on either side. But yeah, but handing the surveillance state is something we should all agree on. The screw the government, man. The let's see. Of course, now I truly love our corporate overlords. Yes, all hail the immortal Zuckerberg and Bezos, Gates triumvirate. Yes, all hail them. Their leadership is perfect, and I will not criticize them because I do not want my robot body rights revoked. Yes, please. Anyway, moving on. Let's see. Now, Nimona herself, great character. Love her. The animation on her is wonderful. I love the gremlin energy. The voice acting is superb. All the voice acting is great. I have no criticism of any of the voice acting here. They really capture her fun-loving nature. She carries all the jokes land for me. Because even when they're doing visual gags, like her being shot in the leg with an arrow, or her eating pizza that she dragged on the floor, those are character moments too. It's not just jokes. It's not like the Marvel movies that just do jokes for the sake of jokes and thus undercut their own drama. The jokes here actually give you insight into the character, which is wonderful. I love that. That is good writing. That's how you do jokes. This is a problem Doctor Who. You see this with the Moffat run, where he would make jokes at the expense of the Doctor. You'd have the Doctor do silly, stupid things that he should know better just for the sake of a joke, and it diminished the Doctor's character. Whereas here, when Nimona is doing something funny, it builds her character, it fleshes out her character. That is a much better way to do it. Marvel needs to take note. This is how you do humor, okay? You don't just do random one-liners to undercut the drama, because you do get genuinely touching and emotional moments from it, while still being funny, while still being a good time. It's an important balance. It's important balance. So like, The Mummy, for example, to me, balanced the action, drama, and comedy very well. But something like Van Helsing with Hugh Jackman, to me, was too over the top. It didn't balance it as well. And the Marvel movies have just gone right off the deep end of just way too hokey. So that it's just bad. The Flash movie, same deal, was just bad because of the it couldn't balance the humor. This balances the humor, and it works. And it works. And not just balances the humor, it uses the humor effectively as a storytelling tool. That is very good. That is very good, and I'm glad to see it. So, yeah, Nimona is clearly the star of the show. Ballister's character is fun. Let's see. Yeah, Lizard Brain versus Upper Brain. Great animation. So, yes, I would highly recommend the film, generally speaking. Um, don't get turned off by a lot of the meta commentary on this. It's like, yeah, a lot of them are stressing the very obvious LGBT components. I think people, if you just stop there, those people are very shallow in their analysis. I think there's more to this than just that. And I would very much like it if people could just look a little deeper. As the great thing about Across the Spider-Verse was that it has as a plot point the universality of the human condition. And this movie gets there. This movie touches on because it doesn't matter like with the director. The director is an agent of fear. She is a subject of fear. It doesn't matter what she's directing that fear at. Here, she's directing the fear at an outsider. Okay. Well, it doesn't matter what that outsider is. That outsider could be anything. In this case, it's Nimona. It's a monster. But yeah, today the outsider could, the outsiders have been, the Jews under Hitler, or the bourgeoisie under communism, or LGBT, and so on. History gives us many examples. Pol Pot had the intellectual or the scholar as his outsider. History gives us many examples of the mob being turned against the outsider. It doesn't matter what that is. The movie appeals to all variations of that and warns us, don't let your lizard brain turn you against the outsider. Okay? Be wary of the enemy within. Don't, and we see that also with her being like, oh, there's a shapeshifter among you. That's actually straight out of Deep Space Nine too. I did see some inspiration from Deep Space Nine. Deep Space Nine dealt with the changelings, like a handful of which infiltrated Earth, and they sowed all kinds of discord. And you saw the Federation devolving into a police state to try to catch the Federation and stuff. And you actually saw them explore the ramifications of the breakdown of social trust that comes. Because social trust is necessary for a good society to flourish. And so you see the director uh, diminishing that. And that's good. That, again, really, really solid aspect. I really like that exploration. And the Nimona solution is burn it all down. And Ballister's like, no, a little more balance. Oh, that's right. That's the other aspect I like. I like how Ballister is clearly starts as lawful good, is clearly put into a role where he has to be chaotic good. He has to go outside the law to do good things like capturing the squire to acquire the evidence that he needs, doing the police sting on the director with Nimona. That was chaotic good because it was illegal, but it was a good hack. And Nimona is way more heavy, also chaotic, but I said chaotic evil at first. She presents as chaotic evil. She's really chaotic neutral, I would say, but ultimately she is chaotic good, I'm going to say. But chaotic neutral, she has been pushed to chaotic neutral by all the circumstances. She starts out as not that bad. She starts out as a lawful or neutral good person who is pushed into chaotic neutral by life circumstance, which is a tragedy. And that's really cool to explore. I really like that. Really like that. But Alistair fighting that tension to devolve into the chaotic side of things, he wants to play it straight. We see that when he's like the evidence, like, no, I don't want to tear down the institution. I'm going to trust my friend. I'm going to trust the process. And then the process screws him over. And it's like, all right, I made a mistake. Process bad. Fine, I'm going to do this my way. I like that. That was a good revelation. That was a good progression. The contrast of law and chaos, good, evil, good, neutral. Very good. Very good. And the things, and I think the other thing too is each character is perfectly convinced that they are the hero. I think. Other than Ballister is aware that he's on the outs, but he's going to do the right thing. what he sees as the right thing. Mona, she's on the outs, and she is going to do what she thinks is the right thing. In fact, the whole reason she backs off at the end is because she realizes that she is doing the wrong thing, that she is doing the very thing that she never wanted to do, and that she just wants it to be over. She wants 1,000 years of pain to finally end. And so she's just committing this to just go out with a bang. And so, and that's like, she realizes that she is a monster in the end because of what she is doing. And that's what gets her to stop. So that's very good. The director, even though she did all that bad stuff, she's totally convinced that she did the right thing. Villain and even the jerk guy, and he's convinced he's doing the right thing too. You see it, and same with Golden Loin. Golden Loin has the most conflict because he wants to do the right thing, but he's unsure what the right thing is, and he's trying to resolve the conflict of what the right thing is. Like, well, I need to be loyal to my country, and I need to be loyal to my friend, and so long as those two are in sync, he's good. But now they're in conflict, and he's like, ooh, what do I prioritize? And what's cool, what I like, is the movie's answer to that question: which should I put forth? The state or my friends? The answer is your friends. And that's a good answer. To put it in line, more than a few philosophers have also reached that conclusion, that you should put family and friends ahead of the law. That it is generally the correct response to that thing. If you're unsure on who to trust your friends more than a legal system. So good. So the movie got a great answer to that moral quandary. I really enjoyed that. Let's see. But yeah, even as evil as the director is, she's convinced she's doing the right thing. She's convinced that what she is doing is good. She's not doing it for herself. She is a villain or antagonist motivated by an urge to protect. She's willing to break. She's a Robespierre. She's willing to break many, many eggs. Like literally, she's willing to break half the eggs in the kingdom to attempt to make an omelet. She's willing to destroy half of the city to protect the other half. That's how far her fear takes her. Which, yeah, that's what happens when you get into it. You start being willing to sacrifice life because you just start abandoning morality. Morality is a higher brain function. You get into the lizard brain, you abandon your morality. Golden Loin does not abandon that. I keep calling Golden Loin. I don't know if it's Golden Loin or Golden Lion. It might be Golden Lion. I might have been mispronouncing his name this entire thing. Let's see. No, it's Golden Loin. Okay, I double checked. No, I'm reading it right. I think it's a parody of Golden Lion. Like Richard the Lionheart. So Golden Loin. That's probably a pun. Let's see. So, um, let's see. I'm trying to think if there was anything else. But yeah, each character is motivated by their own. It clearly has their own moral code, even if you don't agree with it. They have one, and they are consistent with it. Good writing. No one just kicks puppies for no reason, which is bad villain writing. They are all, everything they do is consistent with the motivation that they have. And I like that. Yeah, she's the director will protect the city even if she has to blow up half of it to stop a monster. Because for her, ending the threat takes the top priority, no matter what sacrifices have to be made. And Golden Loin, there is a point where he will stop, and there he wants to still be true to his friend, and he does still hold to that. That's why, like, even at the end, he's very concerned for Ballister. He will want to protect him when given the possibility to do so. And Nimona also has a code. Mind you, just each of their codes, the director, Golden Loin, Alistair, Nimona, exist on a spectrum. And so we see each of their different perspectives. Oh, and the jerk face. We see each of them doing their things. Like the jerk face, is clearly willing to beat Alistair up and stuff. I don't think he's willing to blow up half the city. I think that might exceed his code a little bit, same as it did Golden Loins. So the director is clearly the furthest out. She's lawful evil. She's the lawful evil, but then each of their codes reflects different limits and restrictions on how far they're willing to go. And it comes out differently. Mona doesn't want to hurt children. She's not a child killer. She's willing to hurt adults and members of the institution to tear things down. But she won't hit children because children are innocent. They haven't done anything. A child is not. A child is still an opportunity, essentially. They aren't set in their ways. They haven't committed any evil acts. So that is south of her moral compass. But she has one, and she's consistent with it. Which is good. So, yeah. So great character depth, good writing, good dialogue, good action, good animation, awesome gremlin energy from Nimona really captures the spirit of the comic. better art quality than the comic itself, in fact. So overall, good stuff. You should go watch it. Yeah. All right, I'm going to wrap it up here because I'm starting to, I think, repeat myself a bit, and this is over 2 hours now. So let me know what you thought of my commentary in the comments below. I hope I didn't make it too politically intolerable for you. But yes, let's all agree to, screw the man, burn down the state, anarchy. Woo! No, not really. I'm not an anarchist. Sorry, I'm not punk. I'm not punk. I might be cyberpunk or synthwave, but I'm not like punk. Yeah, sorry. But anyway, let me know what you thought in the comments below. Did I miss anything? Any other themes that you have? Give me feedback or so on. Did you have you seen the movie yet? What did you think? Do you disagree with my assessment of She-Ra? I don't know. I don't really want to engage in like, yeah. But anyway, I may or may not watch She-Ra as part of this. I probably won't. I don't want to subject myself to that again. But let me know in the comments below. Let me know if I missed anything. Let me know if there's any insights that you thought of. What you think about my commentary reactions. This is my first time watching it, so what you saw were my off-the-cuff remarks. None of this was thought out in advance or prepared, hence why I'm a little rambling. What do you prefer? Do you prefer when I react to things that I've already seen and thus have some thoughts on already? Or do you like it when I have these first-time off-the-cuff things where I'm developing my thoughts as I talk them through with you? What do you like more? Let me know. All right, so this is Dominic Bytes signing out. When next we meet, may your robot body be fully charged!